A better route. Chapter 151. When the new sages came on the scene, Madara had been the first to notice. It wasn't hard to notice the massive spike of chakra, but Madara knew it before anyone thanks to his sensory abilities. Once he felt it, nothing else mattered. His head shot right to where he was sensing the new chakra. All three of them looked completely different. Naruto's hair looked like they more horns, and he was wearing clothes that looked like a more modern version of what Madara was wearing. Kakashi and Mito looked more or less the same. Madara didn't understand what was going on, the power of the Sage of the Six Paths. But how? Naruto made 2 truth-seeking balls and made blades out of them, taking one in each hand. He was right in front of Madara so fast that people couldn't even tell he moved. The Uchiha only had the reflexes to block the attack thanks to his own sage powers. As Madara held up his staff to block the blades, he tried to make sense of what was going on. How did you do it? This shouldn't be possible. Naruto told him as Mito and Kakashi start to run to his side. It was a gift from the Sage of the Six Paths himself. He wanted us to have this power, not you. Madara spun his staff around and jumped back to avoid Kakashi and Mito, who had just tried to sandwich him between a cloud of acid and ball of blue flame. Lies. Only someone like me is worthy of abilities like this. Madara fired 2 truth-seeking balls at each of them. Naruto took his blades and deflected one ball so that it would hit the other, stopping them both with one strike. 2 birds, 1 stone. Kakashi made a scythe with his sage powers and smacked one of the balls away. Then he caught the next one in the curved end, threw it off to the side. This is fucking awesome. Mito created a huge hammer and smashed the first ball that came at her into the ground. When the next one came, she jumped up and used her hammer to crush it as well. Tell me about it. Obito and the others were watching with amazement. It's incredible, that much raw power. Rin was having the same feeling. It's like a nothing I've ever seen before. Konan couldn't believe it. Kakashi-kun, just how powerful are you? Hinata was thinking the same thing. Naruto-kun, you're amazing. Kiba chuckled to himself. Looks like my favorite girl is even more badass than before. Madara was still furious someone else had his power. There's no way the Sage of the Six Paths would give you this power. He wants this to happen just as much as I do. Mito took a deep breath and spit a concentrated cloud of dust at Madara. Listen to us, you idiot. He never wrote that stuff on the tablet in the Naka shrine. At least not the part about the infinite Tsukuyomi. Madara prepared to send the cloud of dust away from him. Honestly, you little brat. You expect me to believe that a dead man gave you these powers and told you all this? Naruto shocked him by saying from right behind him, he's the fucking Sage of the Six Paths, he's not just some average guy. Naruto had a raisin shuriken in his hand, but there was a ball of lava in the center of it. The wind increased the heat and the heat sharpened the wind. Lava raisin shuriken. Madara cried out as the attack hit him and sent him skidding across the battlefield. It used the heat of the lava with power of the wind to create an attack that made his require raisin shuriken look like nothing. Madara stood up and prepared to go on the offensive, but Kakashi wasn't going to let him do that. He spit out a river of foam at Madara and tried to sweep him up in it. However, Madara put his stake into the ground and held onto it to keep from moving. Kakashi mumbled, well, that makes things a little more complex. He looked over to see Sai had joined that fight. That, however, I can work with. He jumped next to Sai, who seemed very surprised. Do you need something, Kakashi? Kakashi nodded. Yes, I do. He whispered in Sai's ear, who slowly started to understand. That shouldn't be a problem at all. Just let me get my scroll out. Kakashi jumped behind him and Sai got out his biggest scroll. The sage took a deep breath and let out another river, this time of ink. Sai raised up his brush and started to use the ink to create an entire army of his ink wolves, birds, and whatever else he could think of. Madara saw this and began to attack the hundreds of ink attackers that were coming at him. Only 2 or 3 of them actually managed to land a hit, but Madara was still pissed off. Okay, I've had enough of this. Allow me to show you what someone like me can do. Naruto called to Kakashi and Mito, "Hey guys, come over here for a second." Kakashi and Mito were quickly right next to him. "What do you need, bro?" Naruto explained to an idea I had to them while Madara prepared his attack. "So do you guys think it could work?" Kakashi didn't see why not. "Yeah, that sounds like it'll be just what we need to take Madara out." Mito agreed. "I'm in, man, we'll get this all set up while we're countering his attacks." Madara finally had everything he wanted prepared. "Let's see how you deal with this." He let loose 3 small balls from his hands, each of which flew into the air, multi-planetary deviation. Naruto knew that each of them had what they needed to take out each attack. As the balls started to suck all of them in, Naruto prepared his counter. He created a truth-seeking ball and started to surround it with his wind chakra, truth-seeking Raisin Shuriken. I know that's not the name they give it in the anime/manga, but that name makes more sense, I think. The attack launched at the ball that was drawing him in and destroyed it like it was nothing, creating a massive explosion as it did. Kakashi was impressed with his surrogate brother's attack and decided to see if he could top it. He created a truth-seeking ball of his own and covered it in the Amaterasu flames and blue flame, firing it at ball, truth-seeking meteor. The blow took out Madara's attack with an eruption of blue flames. Mito frowned. "Ah damn, now I gotta top those too." She created one last truth-seeking balls, but she didn't do anything to hers. Instead she started to add her super strength to her fist along with a ton of steam power. Mito smacked the tailed beast ball and sent it flying right at the offending attack. The power it picked up from the speed was more than enough to destroy the planetary deviation. Madara watched all of this with a scowl on his face. "This can't be happening. There's just no way it's possible. I just don't believe it." Naruto smirked. "We're going to beat you and there's no way you can stop us. Believe it." Mito sprinted at Madara and put the plan into action. She had all 8 gates opened, although thanks to her sage and healing powers it didn't hurt her at all. Jumping up into the air, Mito prepared an epic assault on Madara. 8 gate, sage art, heavenly foot of pain. The kick was strong enough to shake the entire battleground as Kakashi got what he needed ready. Madara couldn't even see the massive black dragon with a truth-seeking ball in its mouth forming above his head. Sage art, blaze release, black rage technique. Mito got out of the way as the dragon attacked Madara, who tried like hell to absorb the chakra of the attack in the last second. He managed to come out alive, although he was worse for wear. Kakashi however was already getting the next step on the road. Sage art, hungry ghost wood dragon. A wooden dragon that had been combined with the Rinnegan's power to absorb chakra rose up from the ground and bound Madara. As Madara tried to break, Naruto got the final piece of the puzzle ready. He had a Rasengan in his hand that was full of magnetic seals. The blonde sprinted at Madara and buried in his stomach, covering him in the seals. Magnetic Rasengan. Madara was pinned down by all of the various attacks. "You little worms. You'll pay once I get out of this." Naruto prepared an attack to kill Madara. "What in the hell makes you think you've got any shot of breaking free?" Madara's hair suddenly parted from his head to reveal that he'd acquired some kind of strange third eye. It looked like some kind of bizarre combination of the Rinnegan and Sharingan, with 9 tomios. His body began to shake and everyone could feel a new power coming from him. "This what makes me think I'll break free." All of a sudden Madara vanished, seeming to teleport out of all of the various attacks. Like how Kaguya can, Madara looked up to see the moon was in the perfect spot. "It's time." He began to fly into the air with Tuhiya and Black Zetsu watching from the sidelines. Tuhiya leaned over to him. "Looks like Madara's finally ready. You should go and prepare yourself as well." Zetsu nodded. "See you in a bit. We're going to achieve our long-awaited goal." As Tuhiya watched him leave, a voice could be heard in her head. "I'm so happy. After all these years I'm going to claim back what's mine." Tuhiya added, "Once everything is safe, I can finally have a world where both my sons are together." The woman agreed. "Indeed, that's something I wish I could have had as well." Look, Madara's begun the process. Madara had begun to raise up into the air and activated his third eye, causing everyone to get afraid. Obito called over to the three sages, "All of you get over here now." The three were over there in a second. "He's getting this thing started, what are we gonna do?" Kakashi had an idea. "Itachi, Sasuke, if you two were to focus your chakra through me and created a Susanoo that was linked to my new Rinnegan, how big could you make it?" Itachi shrugged. "If we had to try and work it with your Rinnegan, I guess it would be about big enough to cover you three, ourselves, and Obito and Rin." Kakashi had to work with it. "It'll have to do." Hagoromo said that he used his Rinnegan to counter his mother's infinite Tsukuyomi. "I think if I use my Rinnegan with your Susanoo, I can protect us." Itachi and Sasuke didn't question anything else. They put their hands on Kakashi's back and created a Susanoo with the Rinnegan's help that covered the small group. As everyone else was captured by the power of Madara's third eye being reflected off from, they managed to stay out of it. Then Madara lands on the ground and began to make some hand seals, intending to finish what he started, naivety of a word of trees. The roots of the Shinju began to spring from the ground and wrapped around all of the different people on the battlefield. They couldn't see it, but the roots were trying to get to everyone in the world and wrap them up as well. Everyone in Shinobi world would soon fall prey to Madara's jutsu. As they fell into dreams, Itachi and Sasuke ended the Susanoo because they had begun to run out of chakra. Naruto told the other two sages, "Come on. We're still in this, so we've gotta go and kick his ass." As they jumped towards Madara, Itachi turned to Rin. "Lady Rin, there's something I need you to do for me. See you in the next one."